So apparently, glasses like these are supposed to be the next big thing. At least if you believe the likes of Apple or Meta, we're soon gonna be using some kind of XR headset to watch movies, play games, or even for work. Personally, I don't know yet if I can believe that something like this can actually replace our good old monitors and displays. But yeah, I wanted to give it a try. So, what does it feel like using these glasses? Well, Virtuo, who make these glasses, claim they can create a giant 120-inch screen right in front of you. But yeah, that's somewhat deceiving, to be honest. Like, maybe the Virtuo screen is comparable with a 120-inch TV when it's like 4 meters away, but it's truly not a huge 120-inch screen like right in front of your face as the marketing material make you believe. On my desk right now is a 27-inch monitor, and I actually have to lean back quite far to line up the image from the glasses with the monitor. I measured the distance and I'd say the image size from these glasses is comparable to a 27-inch monitor that's about 90 centimeters away. Which, you know, isn't bad, but I guess my expectations were a bit blown up from all the marketing material I've seen. Not just from Virtuo, but basically everyone that make XR headsets advertise these ridiculously large Virtuo screens. But yeah, to give you a more realistic idea of what it looks like, I've placed a few bits of painter's tape on the wall to mark where I see the edges of the Virtuo screen. So in reality, the screen looks a bit like this when I'm sitting at my desk. My desk is 80 centimeters deep, and with this setup, the XR glasses are somewhat comparable to having a 24-inch monitor mounted to the wall, which surely isn't the most impressive setup you can have. So how's the gaming experience on this thing? Well, I'm used to playing on a 27-inch monitor, that's pretty close to me, so the smaller screen size took me some time to get used to. Also, a monitor, you know, doesn't move when you move your head. So that's a pretty different experience, as you don't really have a reference point to focus on and keep your head straight. Like, you can really see that my head is starting to move around when the match is getting a bit more intense. And I frequently had to remind myself to keep a somewhat healthy posture. But this is something you can get used to. What surprised me though is how viable these glasses actually are for gaming. I mean, their marketing videos even show someone playing Overwatch, but I didn't expect much, to be honest. And I didn't expect that these glasses were actually usable for fast-paced games like Overwatch. But the game experience is pretty good, basically as fast and responsive as it gets on a 60Hz display. Sure, it's not as smooth as the 240Hz and 360Hz monitors I typically use for gaming, but these glasses use two very fast micro OLED screens, so the experience is actually pretty good in terms of response times, and the motion blur is surprisingly low for 60Hz. I wish it could measure the response times and latency and make my usual UFO photos, but that's not really possible with these glasses. It's super hard to even just record the screen. So I guess you have to take my word for it, but these glasses are pretty fast, and the latency is also very low for the 60Hz refresh rate. However, there's one thing that really makes these a pain to use with a PC. The edges of the Virtuo screen are just super blurry. And I really took my time adjusting these glasses, tried out all the different nose pieces, and also fine-tuned the diopter adjustment several times. And yeah, in the center, the image really looks great, but the edges are just super soft, a bit like they were out of focus. For gaming, this mostly isn't a huge deal. Some HUD elements are a bit hard to read sometimes, but it's mostly fine. For watching videos or movies, it's even less of an issue, as you often don't even notice the soft edges due to the depth of field effect in most movies. But if you want to use these as a PC monitor, it's a pain. Windows itself and most programs just aren't designed for something like this, and there are so many small text elements and buttons towards the edges of the screen that you just can't easily read when they're blurry. Like with Discord, for instance, it's super hard to see who's online. This is my new Discord server, by the way, link in the video description. So for a lot of the stuff you typically do on a computer, like using Discord or maybe editing videos, or basically for everything else besides gaming and content consumption, I really do not enjoy the experience. To be fair though, Virtuo don't really claim that their XR glasses could fully replace a computer monitor. Maybe Apple does with their Vision Pro, so I'm excited to see how that goes. But Virtuo at least intend you to use these like when you sit back and relax in your chair, on the sofa, to play some casual games or watch a movie. So I also plugged them into my Nintendo Switch, played some Pokemon, and this really is where I enjoyed them the most. On the sofa or even on a plane or a bus, the screen size is also a lot more respectable. I mean, on the desk, a 24-inch screen at an 80cm distance really doesn't sound too impressive, but this is equivalent to a 60-inch TV at about 2 meters away, which probably is equivalent or even larger than what many of us are using at home. And that's a pretty substantial upgrade over the 6-inch 720p screen of a Nintendo Switch. But if XR glasses and headsets really want to compete with actual computer monitors, there are still a lot of things that need to be addressed. The blurry edges are a huge problem on PC, and I'm also not convinced that the sunglasses aesthetics are the right design choice for an XR headset. Sure, these don't look quite as weird out in public as a fully fledged head-mounted display, but this design really doesn't handle reflections well. See, the prism lenses are pretty exposed, so there really is nothing to prevent light shining in and causing reflections. And yeah, the field of view also is kinda limited with this design. For some people, nausea is also gonna be a problem. Linus, for example, also tried these and almost threw up. I personally don't have this issue. I've used them for hours on end, moved around and didn't even get slightly sick. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. For me at least, these are a nice complement to my gaming monitor setup, but let's be real, they're no real alternative to a computer monitor yet. A nice addition, I give them that, but no replacement. Thanks for watching, bis zum nächsten Video.